Happy New Comic Book Day, geeks, and welcome to issue 83 of the Script Heroes podcast. I'm Katie.
And I'm Joseph, and today we're going to be talking about a bunch of books, including Batman and Robin, issue 23, Batman Dark Patterns, issue 8, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, issue 2, TMNT Mutant Nation, issue 8, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, issue 1, Very Long Ago, issue 3, Planet Death, issue 1, and Snow Monkey, issue 3.
That's right. Be sure to hit subscribe to add our show to your pull list, and let's jump right in to Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, issue 23. The writer of the series is Philip Kennedy Johnson, who's worked on Action Comics and Green Lantern War Journal. The artist is Miguel Mendonca, who's worked on Nightwing, Justice League Last Ride, and Aquaman. The colorist is Marcelo Mayalo, and the letter is Steve Wands. Katie, we got yet another issue of Batman and Robin. Yet another artist change. Sorry, the series just switches artists like almost every month.
Yeah. It sure does.
Yeah.
We're near the end.
What actual penultimate issue now of the,
Like, we're legitimately at the end of the Memento arc, which is very exciting because it's been a while. I am very glad that we're towards the end because I feel like it also means that a lot of stuff is picking up. Like, we have the whole, like, oh, Robin's missing thing kind of getting its time in the sun here, where, like, things can be resolved. No, not saying how anything gets resolved, because, spoiler-free reviews. But I really liked the dynamic that he had with the Irregulars. I thought it was a little out of character for Damian to be, like, so receptive to them, but I think that this series specifically has been doing so much work with him in his, like, I don't know, empathetic side that I really did buy it. And I was like, I believe that this Damian would be, like, on board with these kids.
Certainly I think this book is a very different Damian. Than like, a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, which is fine. He can grow. We love to see a Robin get to grow.
The thing that always happens with the Robins is, like, they can grow for this book, but they can't grow in general.
Yeah.
They'll be right back when another writer gets their hands on a...
Yeah, but maybe it'll stick a little bit. Who knows? Because Damian has had growth over the years. Being, like, such a new character, relatively, I think that he has... There have been growing pains for him, where writers have, like, figured out who he is, and who, like, the core of Damian is. And I think that a move towards a kinder Damian makes a lot of sense in an era where he's been Robin for a while,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I think that the stuff that we saw with Memento in this issue is super fun. I like that we got to see him being, like, really villainous and, like, kind of... Because one of the things that I had complained about in a previous issue was that even though Memento is our big bad, it felt like we weren't seeing Memento do anything. It was just, like, the effects of what he had done. And so it was really fun to see him, like, using his spooky Memento powers and stuff. So I think this was a big positive turn in a way where it's like, okay, we've been dealing with this long enough that it's nice to be at the conclusion. So I think there's a little bit of bias in there for me where I'm like, oh, sweet, we're concluding.
Yeah. I wonder if I might have the bias the other way, which just went on so long that, like, I'm like predisposed to be negative about it, like I don't think I like Memento is like
that's super fair.
Like I'm not a fan of, like, because it's weird to say it doesn't fit in a Batman book, because obviously Batman can, like, do kind of any of his things, but especially, like, in this Batman and Robin book, which despite, like, hinting at all the Memento stuff has felt very, like, grounded in Gotham, and, like, in this, it just doesn't really feel like he fits as a Batman villain with, like, the way that things are playing out.
I think that makes sense, because I think that Batman's someone who obviously has a lot of superpowered villains, but they're not normally magical. And, like, they use Etrigan, which you always get bonus points on this podcast when you use Etrigan.
Etrigan is a big ups when you use Etrigan.
And I really like the way that Mendoza drew Etrigan. I thought he was really wonderful. I liked how big he was. Etrigan always a star. But yeah, Memento, he feels a little odd.
Yeah.
Because, like, it hasn't felt like a magical Batman story, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like the story wasn't, like, queuing up for this type of, Batman. It's not like Batman was like, like obviously he met up with Etrigan in the last issue because he kind of realized, but it's not like Batman was like going around different like mystical, he wasn't talking to Zatanna and Constantine and like all of these characters to like try to figure out mystic stuff, and like so just I don't know, it's landing a bit weird for me. I certainly think it was I'm trying to remember how we felt about last month, but I think it was a step up. I don't think last month had quite fully turned yet, so I do think it was a step up, but it's just I don't think it's doing enough to justify it being like this really long,
this like 12-issue long series.
Exactly. So I am very excited to be out of the Memento arc once we get out of it. But yeah, I thought this was a solid enough issue, but Memento himself is just not really sold to me.
That's fair. That's fair. Have you, dear listener, been reading? Did you jump in with us in the All In initiative where they were like, "Hey, now's a good time to jump in for like the Batman book," and then it's 12 months later, and it's like, "Oh my god, we've been here for a year, and it's been one story."
They weren't lying, because any month after that was not going to be a good time to jump into Batman anymore. So
yeah. How do you feel about a 12-issue arc? Like obviously that spans 2 volumes. It it really disrupts the flow. And in an ongoing book, we've talked about how things don't necessarily have to wrap up with issue 6. Like we don't need books full of miniseries, but your big arc maybe needs some adjustment from what we had here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about the fact that a lot of it too, when you're doing it this long without any like civilian side stuff. Hurts.
Yeah.
So,
but do you agree with us, dear listeners? Or do you really like it? Did you like sitting in this space for a full calendar year? Let us know in the comments down below, and any of your other thoughts about Batman and Robin. How do you like this interpretation of Damian, who's like traumatized by letting a girl child die, I think.
Dead. And they've went back to that quite a bit across the series.
Quite a bit. Yeah. So how do you feel about the characterization of Damian? And how do you feel about the characterization of Bruce? We got some like dad stuff in this issue.
Yeah,
which was a little funky.
Yeah.
So let us know that and any of your other thoughts down below. And while you do, we are going to go start talking about Batman: Dark Patterns.
Let's do it.
Batman: Dark Patterns, number 8. This is coming to us from writer Dan Watters of Nightwing, Lucifer, and the Six Fingers, and artist Hayden Sherman of Absolute Wonder Woman, Chicken Devil, and Detective Comics. The colorist is Triana Farrell, and the letterer is Frank Gavedovich. Jay, it's creating a pattern. Darkly.
I'm sorry,
is that not an approachable segue for you to start talking about the book?
Let's talk about the book.
Oh, he has feelings.
No, I don't. I have feelings about your joke.
Oh, he has feelings about my segue.
Yeah, I have feelings about your joke. No, I mean, I do have feelings about the book, but not in that sense. I thought that this was a good issue. This was an issue that I felt, at least for me, was like heavily on Hayden Sherman's artwork. Like I feel like Hayden Sherman did a lot of really, really cool things with like the page layouts and everything in this issue. There's a gunshot, like 2-page splash that I feel like is a bit of a spoiler to like actually go into, because it's like pretty much towards the end of the book. But we could,
it's on the centerfold.
Cool with the like flying. It was very cool.
I covered up what happens with it.
Yeah, and like around what happens with it, because like I thought it was really well done, and like what you were able to see initially, and then like when it comes in, I really like that. So I feel like a lot of the visual storytelling in this issue was really, really good. So big ups to Hayden Sherman. This is maybe my favorite Dark Patterns issue art-wise. I thought Hayden Sherman did really, really great in this issue. Story-wise, I feel like not a ton happened in this issue. Like we definitely get some Batman investigating, which is Dark Patterns a bread and butter.
Dark Patterns specialty.
And like where we end up at the end of this issue is obviously like a big kind of push forward. But it didn't feel like we were like, in my opinion, it didn't feel like we were steadily getting there through the issue. It felt more like it was all at the back end in terms of the movement. And the back end was great. I feel like the last like 5 pages of this issue, outstanding.
So amazing.
Phenomenal.
Like starting with the gunshot, I feel like really, really phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everything gunshot, amazing. Outstanding.
I also absolutely loved the narration around the gunshot. Like the twist on it, on the page turn. I went crazy. I was like, that's so fun and good.
No, it was very well done.
It's very
Uh,
exciting.
for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
how you feel?
Yeah, I agree. The thing that I was a little bummed about, because we start off with these like newspaper headlines and this
Yeah,
ad
yeah,
for
yeah.
Shark Week. Um and I was so excited because then we also get a little scene where there are these like youths who are staking out the crime scene because they know that
You.
Batman's been showing up there.
Yeah, yeah,
And I feel like I would have really loved to have a fully like non-Batman perspective thing until we got to like that gunshot moment. Because like if we stuck to these devices for like watching Batman investigate, I feel like that
yeah.
could have been like really neat and like super unique and fun. Um
It's
but I
funny. I was
yeah.
I was flipping the first couple of pages and I was like, I really hope these newspaper articles stop because I just
Well,
didn't think
see, I
they
wouldn't want the
like.
entire thing to be
Yeah,
newspaper
I
articles.
like them
But
in
3 is fun.
theory, and like the setup is actually pretty good for like the
Mhm.
way they tie into the story with the guy who was actually writing them,
Yeah.
trying to get Batman's attention. Like that was actually a cool way to do. I like that a lot. I just feel like the actual newspaper articles were like kind of nothing burgers, like
Oh,
they didn't.
fully agree. Fully
Yeah,
agree.
like it feels like there could have been a bit more storytelling through them that would have been
I
nice.
feel that. I do also want to yet again. It's a Hayden Sherman book, so I'm gonna just
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah, yeah.
goon over the.
Go for it. The art was real
I
good in this shit.
I love the little like newspaper art shots. I thought they were
They
so
were very.
fun. They were like so Batman core. They were like almost campy while also being like really fun early. Like I love when early Batman has that like mythos around him, where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
very cryptid vibes. And I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I really liked where it went. Like you said, the interaction with the tabloid guy was a fun kind of rationale behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully.
But yeah, I the back half of this issue has been, I think, my favorite Batman Dark Patterns.
Yeah, I agree. It
Work.
was very backloaded.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
it's fun, like my one other critique I want to go is, um, I I I don't love the way that we're doing. I'm trying to, yeah, I'm making sure that I'm not being, yeah, I'm making sure that's not the other book because of course I
we
get
got so many Batman
caught up in the
books.
two Batman books. I don't love the way that Gordon's was done in this issue. He felt
Yeah.
very like working for Batman instead of the other way around, where he was like, no, I like we need to do other things with the cops, and then Batman was like, no, this is more important. He was like, okay, Batman said I'm not allowed to be a cop in other ways, and I'm like, what do you mean? You don't just do whatever
Well,
Batman says.
I think Gordon is still doing cop things. I think it's just Batman who isn't, and Gordon was trying
Oh,
to
but like
like.
he wanted to get the coroner to be looking at other
But
and
he's
Batman.
not the real coroner. He's like the weird coroner.
Yeah, but he still wanted him on a. It felt very much like Batman
That's
was
fair.
like dictating things to Gordon there, and not
Mhm.
in like things just got serious. So in this moment, Gordon's gonna like in
Right.
like this is Gordon as police commissioner, just like kind of letting Batman run the way that they're
Yeah.
doing
I
things.
get that. It didn't bother me a whole bunch. I do wish that Gordon got to be like more involved, because like
Yeah,
I in this one specifically, he's obviously very removed because he's like, oh well, this is like a dead case. It's dead in the water. We don't have any leads. But I wish that in like a detective Batman book, there's especially early. Like, I want that beautiful Gordon interaction. I
yeah.
want them to
I
be
feel like
buddies.
Gordon hasn't had as much
Yeah,
as a role as I would.
yeah. Especially with the things that we learn about the coroner. I'm like, I feel like maybe Gordon should be aware of
Yeah,
this.
you think that he'd be involved in
Yeah,
that story,
yeah.
and how, but
But that's all right. Maybe it'll all come together in issues 9 through 12.
yeah. Well, 9 will be the end of this arc, and then
Yes.
we'll go into the final arc. So,
Yeah.
very, but yeah,
Because as we
very,
know,
very cool back
yeah,
end of this issue.
absolutely. Have you been reading Dark Patterns, dear listener? How much do you love Hayden Sherman's art? That's just a personal question. Do you think that it was a good like subversion of kind of Bat God moments, or were you a little annoyed with cover your
Thanks.
ears? Yeah. Were you a little annoyed with things? Because it seems like it's something that might have a lasting impact in a very like
Yeah,
non-comic book rubber ball type of way. You know what I mean?
sure.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking the dear listener. You know what I mean?
They don't.
They
We're
don't.
gonna
They
jump
don't.
over though across the big two aisle, and talk about Spider-Man Incursion. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion issue 2. We have 2 writers on the series. It's Cody Ziegler, who's worked on Miles Morales Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Deadpool, and Dennis Camp, who's worked on The Ultimates, Absolute Martian Manhunter, and 20th Century Men. Artist Jonas Scharf, who's worked on Namor, Power Rangers, and Bone Parish. The colorist is Edgar Delgado, and the letter is Corey Petit. Katie, we
Yeah.
thought the first issue was pretty fun, but it
Yeah.
was clear that we were moving to other segments of the Ultimate
Yeah.
Universe that we have
Uncharted waters on this podcast.
Yeah.
Though I was trying to remember, did we read the first issue of Ultimate Black Panther? Do you remember us doing that?
We did, but not on the podcast. We did that as a test for our
Oh yeah,
like fantasy league system.
Right. I was like, why do I know just a crumb of information about Absolute Black Panther?
Yeah, we did it.
Amazing. Behind the screen for y'all. But yeah, so we're in kind of uncharted waters for us now. We have not been reading Ultimate Black Panther. We have not been reading the Ultimates. We have not been reading Ultimate X-Men or Wolverine. Not that I think that those ties in, but Storm's there, so you know.
I think Storm's a part of Absolute Black Panther.
I believe so. But maybe she's an X-Men as well. Who knows? Not us, because we weren't reading it. So yeah, last issue was really focused on the Spider-Man side of things, which obviously we've been reading and loving Ultimate Spider-Man. So I felt a little lost in this one. Like I don't think there's anything that was like missing because of it. Like it didn't feel like I had to have read.
The only thing you don't really have is like the Black Panther universe context, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Because like, I don't feel like they're doing stuff that I wasn't able to like easily understand immediately. Yeah. So I think they do a good job of not like catering only to the audience of people who have been reading the specific Ultimate books that they're going to visit. But that being said, I just didn't have a ton of emotional investment in it. Because like, these characters look cool. They look kind of like these characters that I know and like, I guess, but don't have a lot of reference.
Katie sounds like she reads an abundance of main continuity Black Panther.
That's why I said, I guess, and like. But yeah, so I feel like it was not confusing in a way that I think it very much could have been if they leaned way too hard into the universe stuff. Obviously, Miles being there and not being from this universe helps with that because people have to explain things to Miles.
Yeah, and his is like the central, like him looking for his sister is like the central story. This.
And I thought that it was well written. I liked all the interactions between people. I thought that the like monologue for Giant Man. I can only assume that they pronounce it Giant Man instead of Giant Man. Jay didn't like that joke either. In any case, I think that his monologue was a good kind of framing device for a lot of, like, we had to cover a lot of ground in the back half of the issue, like, because something happens off panel that, or I guess, you know, unbeknownst to the main heroes, that I think that his monologue did a good job of, like, grounding me in their side of the Ultimates universe, where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm still with them, I'm, like, learning about these other people, while we watched everything unfold. But I think they did a good job with that. So I liked the writing, I just didn't particularly care about anyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe take the opposite angle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of my problems with this issue came from not having context. Because again, I think the only context that was missing was really because you get all of like the Wasp background and stuff in this issue, and that's like the Ultimates people that we're with. Like, it feels like the only thing that was really missing was like the Black Panther Wakanda stuff. That's fair. My issue is more of like, I thought a lot of the like tension and conflict was very forced. Like they show up and then the Dora Milaje is just like, they're trying to kill Black Panther, and there's no reason for them to think that. And that's like, it's just how this kind of kicks off. And I was like, that felt so unnecessary. And I was waiting for some sort of like, I don't know, I was waiting for that to like pay off in a better way.
That's fair.
And yeah, I don't know. I felt like the stakes were just kind of weird in this issue until kind of the end bit, which kind of brings it in. But before that, it's always tough talking around the endings. But anyway,
Yeah.
before that, it just felt like it was like this forced conflict, and then like a lot of people just kind of talking, which is a part of comics sometimes, but it didn't.
Not a particularly exciting part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that I think like the technical writing in terms of like the dialogue and stuff for the most part was pretty good, but it just felt a little bit like we had some convoluted means of getting our characters where we wanted them.
That's super fair. I think I was thinking back to the previous issue where we had thought that a little bit of the dialogue had become a bit, I don't know, cringy with Peter, and that the like character work for it was a little at the expense of Miles looking cool at the expense of the other spiders. And so when I came into this one and I was like, oh, Miles isn't like showing everybody up, I was like, oh, perfect.
That's there's the line.
Yeah.
No, but like again, like I think that I think that there was interesting stuff in here. Like you mentioned, the monologue being good. Like there were some good lines and exchanges in this issue. It's just like I don't know, felt kind of like we were setting up pieces without like actual reasons to set them up.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, perhaps, and dear listeners, let us know at home. Are you reading like the entire Ultimate Universe? Are you reading Ultimate Black Panther? Are you reading the Ultimates that would have given you more context for this issue? If not, do you feel like this was a little, like, I didn't feel like it was unapproachable, but I felt a little, I don't know. Like, I was like, oh, I'm just kind of looking through the window at this instead of walking through an immersive space of the universe.
That's fair. I think that's very fair. Yeah.
Dear listener, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think we should be reading any of the other Ultimate books? It's a little late, but we can always catch up. Let us know.
That sounds
down
like
below.
a lot of work.
But for you, dear listener, yes, you specifically, we'll do it. Yeah. Anyway, we have another book to talk about.
Turtles!
Turtle time! TMNT, Mutant Nation, number 8. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jade, the penultimate issue?
The penultimate issue, yes. I thought you were going to once again, for like the third time, say, I believe this is the final issue.
No. I remembered this time.
Good job, Katie. I'm proud of you.
But as all of the Mutant Nation issues have been, it's got 2 stories going on. Story 1, we have Jay's fave, Tom Waltz, writing the story. He's done TMNT, Last Ronin, and Wolverine Blood Hunt. His artist on that story is Nelson Daniel of Judge Dredd, TMNT, and Dungeons and Dragons. Jay, you always have commentary about like the Turtles artists. Are you familiar with this one?
I am. Nelson Daniel is not like large Turtles artist. A one-arcer, I believe. Okay. If I am mistaken, I apologize.
All right, we'll dip back to the art. I just like to know when it's someone who you have immediate
I think one of the things that I love about Mutant Nation is that it's a lot of like the core Turtles talent getting back on Turtles books. Very excited. Yeah.
But the colorist for story 1 is Rhonda Pattinson. In story 2, the writer is Paul Allor of TMNT Universe, Marvel Rivals, and G.I. Joe. And the artist on that one is Barnaby Bagenda of the Omega Men, Planet of the Apes, Planet of the Apes / Green Lantern, and Suicide Squad. And the colorist on story 2 is Marco Lesko. Doing the whole shebang letters wise is good old Russ Wooten.
Good old Russ
Wooten. Jay, give me your turtle thoughts.
Yeah,
I mean that shell of yours.
Yeah, so we got Tom Waltz back, which is always
he's cheesing so hard. Oh my god,
it's a big win, Katie. It's a big win.
It's a big win.
No, I really liked getting to see Nobody once again because I don't think we've seen Nobody in a long time now. It might be since Armageddon game as well. I feel like a lot of the characters pop up and I feel like we've had a lot of conversation up and like we haven't seen this person since Armageddon game.
Was Armageddon game the end of Tom Waltz's run?
No, Tom Waltz came back to write an event during
Sophie Campbell's
run, which was Armageddon game. It was in like the 130s, I want to say, and the book wrapped up around 150. So it was the last time Tom Waltz
iconically on 150.
Yes. Tom Waltz. It was the last time Tom Waltz wrote the main IDW characters.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the reason he was playing with everybody, so that's why a
Yeah.
lot of the characters haven't been seen since then. But in any case, it was great to see Angel again. It was great to see Harold again. Fucking love Harold. What a guy. And Future Toy. Future Toy doesn't get a lot here, but a little Future Toy. We got a little Future
Is
Toy.
he different than the fella in the because there was a little robot that looked like that in some TMNT thing we read, right?
He did we get to him in when we read he's there's a Future Toy in the Last Ronin as well. Future Toy popped up in the Last Ronin when we read that. Future Toy
maybe that's what I was thinking of.
I don't know if we got there in Mirage when we were reading the Mirage run. I don't think we did, because I don't think we went to the space story yet when we read the Mirage run. He's a very important Turtles character. So he's in
Anytime I feel like I recognize someone, I'm like, do I know that character from something?
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked the first story. It was great to see Angel again. I thought Tom Waltz went like really deep into Angel in a way that had not happened in the many issues that she has appeared as a supporting character, of course, in the main Turtles books, and she's never really had a spin-off. She might, I don't think she had a one-shot. I don't think she even got a one-shot. A bunch of characters got one-shots when they were doing the TMNT macro series. But yeah, I don't think she did. So this was like some really great depth on her that I really enjoyed. Like getting the kind of background behind the nobody name was really cool. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And the way that it applies to a new situation, which I think was great. And it was also like a good way of, I think, touching on like the new part of the Turtles universe, where it was like, oh yeah, all this is going on, but you know, it's a little bit like this has changed since Armageddon game. It's a little bit like, you know, chill down despite the New York issues. So I feel like Mutant Nation's so good at like making this feel cohesive with the original Turtles run, which is
I love that for you.
Really great. And then
I also love that it feels so approachable. Like, I would not have guessed that this is the most depth that this character has gotten. Because I was like, oh yeah, this character feels so like realized on the page. So like it's like shocking to me that she hasn't had a one shot or something.
She's an important character. She's never like I don't know if we've ever even like gotten captions from her perspective before. You know, which is why like I think it's like such like she's just always been like, okay, here, like she was introduced as Casey's purple dragon friend, as like his way into, you know, the purple dragons when he started interacting with them. And then she, you know, came and she got Harold's suit, and that like led her to being an ally of the Turtles, but she never really like was the central character.
Yeah. And I love that Mutant Nation is able to make these characters feel so like rounded out. Because like with the Bebop and Rocksteady story, it's like, okay, we all know them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's so nice with these other characters to be like, oh, these characters are so well rounded. It makes the universe feel so lived in.
Yes, absolutely. It's such a good expansion of the like it. It feels, and it's why I'm very disappointed that we're ending it now, because it just feels like such a good way to be like, the universe is still being lived in, even when we're kind of refocusing. Because I like that the main book, especially after Sophie Campbell's run, was like this really big ensemble character, Mutant Town type story, which was, you know, its own thing. But now it's like we're going to really focus on our
the boys.
Yeah. And it's like, it's nice to get back there, but having this book to then say like, well, there's so many characters that we either created or, you know, brought into the IDW continuity that matter so much, and we don't get to see any of them in the main book. And like, that would be disappointing if we didn't have this book, which is why I'm very scared for this book to not exist anymore. But yeah,
it is very sad.
Do you have any more thoughts on the first story? Or do you want to start?
I cut you off.
Yeah. Which is super wild, because it's like this. I had seen this beforehand, so I'm interested because I'm sure that you haven't. So I'm interested. Yeah, it's like a book that can be read two ways. You know, you can read it either, you know, traditionally, or you can read it in like the, you know, because it's two stories. There's the left hand and the right hand story, and they do cross over with Sally Pride and it's Baxter Stockman.
And their dialogue like matches up with each other.
Yeah, that was a really interesting thing to do, where like they all were trail offs, which I think was Paul Haller was really challenging himself on that one. He was like, everything's gonna trail, everything's gonna go into the next, and I was like, okay, I'm here for it. It was a very cool thing to see that. I think we always talk about that. It's always cool to see people like doing new interesting things with the medium. I love that.
Like, this wasn't my favorite thing, but I think that it worked really well in this story specifically, where you're comparing these two figures. Like, I think it was really interesting the way that he's able to like bridge them into each other. I think it got a little messy towards the end, weirdly.
I agree.
which is my only gripe with it. But I do think that it was a really interesting swing. And I was
Yeah,
saying this all the time with the Bruno Redondo, Tom Taylor run. It's like when someone's doing
that's what I was
something,
thinking of too.
yeah. But also with like the one hand and the six fingers, it's like when people are
Yeah.
doing new things in comics, that's so fun because as a medium, it's been around for 100 fucking years. So it's so neat
Yeah.
to see people like doing new and cool things with it. I think very predictably love Sally Pride. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's another character that's appearing for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't been with the mutant animals, which means when we saw the mutant animals, she wasn't there.
Because if she was, they wouldn't have been in cages. She would have beaten everyone up. I'm telling you.
I'm laughing because literally Sally Pride's first appearance is her in a cage.
Well, she does mention that. And but that's okay because she's not in one anymore.
Oh, that was that. I think that was Paul Aller's run on TMNT Universe, which is why it makes sense that he's doing it here. But that was I think the best TMNT Universe.
Yeah. I will say, very funny name though. Like she said, "I'm Sally Pride." I'm like, oh, she's an astronaut, and then she was not an astronaut, but that's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it was very fun. I agree. I think there were places where it felt like the captions were maybe hurt a little bit for the fact that they were having to like conform to that format. But I really appreciate the swing, and I thought it was cool. I did have my brain did sometimes go like, which way do I want it? Because for the most part, on most pages, I read one entire side and then the other entire side.
Oh, I didn't. I was going between.
Yeah, no. For the most part, I was doing that until, like the things where it started getting more like intertwined.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't full captions, like once there were characters actually like talking, then
on the page. Yeah, that's super fair.
The beginning sections, I kind of stick. But it was very interesting. I really like you said, love the swing. I love people trying new things with the medium.
Absolutely. Did you, dear reader at home, also enjoy it? Did you read it kind of character to character, or did you read it dialogue bubble to dialogue bubble? It's weird to try to figure it out. How do you feel about the end of Mutant Nation? Is this something that you wish that they would keep going with, or do you feel like they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for characters, and your faves have already gotten their new context in this world? Let us know. All your thoughts down below.
Absolutely.
And now it's time for Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, #1.
Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, issue 1. That's a mouthful. The writer-artist of the series is Patrick Horvath, who is, of course, the writer-artist of the original Beneath the Trees. He's also done Free For All and Haha. The letter is Hassan. That's Mon. Allow, Katie's favorite letter, in case you knew the podcast.
Yeah. All the
Katie,
way back to those sweet chicken devil days. Yes, love the first volume. We did
I'll link that review because I think it's a standalone review.
It sure is. It was a strange Saturday.
Yeah, so I'll link that. You got to check that out. It's such a good book.
It's such a good book. I absolutely went feral for it because it has such a strong identity. It's one of those books where you could take a panel from it and show it to me in 50 years, and I'd still be able to say, "Oh, that's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees."
Absolutely.
Like between Horvath's art style and like the storybook, characters and stuff, it's so well done. It's so strongly branded. We read I think it ended up being the first like 8 pages of this or something was in the IDW Free Comic Book Day.
Was it the first 8 pages? I think it was different material, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was her going to the police stations.
Yeah, but it was they don't get mad at her right away like they do in this when she's going to the police stations in the.
I'm gonna believe you on that. It's been a few months.
It felt that like I think we saw her going to different police stations like. That
maybe, but I remember her talking about like her life in the city and stuff. In any case, we saw a preview of it in Free Comic Book Day.
Maybe it was the first. I really, in my head, it was different. Which is
no worries. Yeah,
I could be making that.
Whether or not it was, I was so excited for this book, and this issue did deliver. I feel like it delivered in a big way in that the original series has so many like, big twists and moments that I'm like, it's hard to do that when we already know that Samantha's like a serial killer and that there was another series. Like there's so much that we know about the world now that it's so much harder to pull those twists off. But I feel like what we get at the end of this issue was a really good execution of that, where I was like, oh, okay, now I'm really hooked to see where this is going. Because I already really liked what we got with just focusing on the sister
Yeah, we got
of
a. I don't know
the
if we'll
dead
continue
duck.
past this issue, but we got a protagonist shift essentially, at least
Yeah.
for the issue. I wouldn't be
Which
shocked if it is just for the series though, because I think it makes some sense.
it definitely could be, and I'm really excited if that's the case. I'm also really excited if we
I'm
focus in on
happy either way.
Samantha.
I
Yeah,
trust Patrick Morath
same.
implicitly.
Just completely.
Yeah,
Uh I am so curious and excited, and this book just absolutely did that in a single issue. It's like, okay, I was really excited about this because of what it is. Because I like the first book, I like the creator,
yeah.
but then, like, independent of all of that, I'm like, oh, we got to the end of this issue, and I am really excited.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, the ending of this issue is, whoo! It was actually though even like not like because I often this was one that I did call like I had like I when it initially said I was like I think that that's gonna be how this plays out, but it didn't make it any less exciting. I think Patrick Horvath is so good at making everything so engaging. Like I reread some
mhm,
of the issues of the original Bleeding Trees, and even knowing exactly what was going to happen, it's no less exciting. And I feel like Patrick Horvath just is so good at gripping you in the book between the dialogue and the art and the way that it all works together. Like it doesn't really matter what you're reading. Because like I feel like if you explained this issue to me before I read it
mhm.
and told me like this is what Beneath the Trees sequel first issue is going to be, I'd be like, oh, that kind of sounds lame. Actually, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit disappointed. But then you read it, and it's like it's so
You're
gripping.
in it.
Yeah, you are. That is the best way to put it. You are in it. What's the duck's name? Do
Oh
we know,
shoot,
right?
I was gonna look and then I moved past it. You talk, I'll find it.
Okay. Like I feel like immediately I care about this character, and I'm like with this character in such a true way as she looks for her brother. It's so immersive. It's such an immersive book, is what it is. Like you get in there, you feel the emotions, you feel the dialogue. The dialogue is outstanding too. Like it is
So
such
good.
real, but still good fiction. Like I feel like books tend to go one way or the other. It's like this is good for fiction because it's like not giving us a bunch of stuff that we don't need, or it's realistic, but then it's giving us a bunch of stuff that we don't need. This is
Mhm.
so good at being realistic, feels real dialogue that is also always moving the plot forward or
Yes.
giving this character doing something important.
Her name is Monica.
Monica.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely was not going to find that. That was
me
not
either.
in my head. um, yeah, it was an outstanding issue. Like I don't know what else to say about it. Patrick Horvath is just so good.
So good, so talented. Like, I'm every time something rolls around from a writer artist, I'm just filled to the brim with jealousy. And it's like the most complimentary jealousy I could ever imagine. I'm just
Yeah,
like, how are you so talented?
cut a line from the title though. That's what it
It's a long title.
is.
It's very evocative of Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. But
Which
perhaps
is a
with even
little
more
like
syllables.
yeah, we talked about that. We're like probably just should have called it Batman: The Last Halloween. I feel like this should have just been called Beneath the Trees, Rite of Spring. Like I don't think we needed to keep the
Right?
Where Nobody Sees because I feel like
Yeah.
everybody already just calls the book Beneath the Trees. So
Mhm.
you know,
I like the whole one. It's so rhymey and fun.
and do a volume 2, please. It's so many words.
It's a long one. It's a long one for sure.
But
But
honestly, doesn't matter when the book's good.
it doesn't
So
matter.
I just
Exactly.
we're making a critique review podcast. I had to say
We
something.
had to say it. Dear friends at home, what would you have named this second volume of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees?
Yeah,
If not
I would have called it
Beneath the Trees
Beneath
Where
the Trees.
Nobody
Nobody
Sees
sees
Right.
issue.
There you go. I think that there might have been some legal trouble with that,
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
about
glad that
it.
you're here to advise.
Yeah.
Yeah, super great issue. Did you call what was gonna happen? Because I actually didn't. I was convinced that there was
Yeah,
gonna be some third
I
entity.
felt it. I feel like especially with the cover, like I don't like the cover just gave very like trappy vibes. Not that
Super fair.
spoiler,
Super.
spoiler
We're
free.
talking around it, kind of.
Yeah. But I felt like it gave the vibes, and I was like feeling like that was what was happening. So I got one. I
Yep.
feel like I'm very often not the person who predicts twists, and people are like, "No, that was so obvious," and I'm
That
like,
was so
"No, it
spelled out.
wasn't, you liar." So
Well,
I
that's all
got
right.
one.
You've got this one in your pocket.
Yes.
But speaking of things buried, like her brother's remains in the woods, we're gonna go talk about Buried Long, Long Ago. Buried Long, Long Ago, number 3. This is coming to us from writer Anthony Cleveland of Stargazer, Charred Remains, and Show's End, and artist Alex Cormack of The Devil That Wears My Face. Sink and I play the bad guy. The letter is Justin Birch. Jay, we loved the start of this series, the characters. So Chef's Kiss.
Yes.
The action of the book. So Chef's Kiss. So spooky. How you feel about issue 3?
This series is really damn good. Like, it is so ridiculously well written. I am uncomfortable from the first to last page in every single issue that we read of this series. It makes me so uncomfortable, which I feel like we've talked about is like, because you can't really scare people with the comic book medium.
Yeah.
Because like usually the thing that would scare you in a movie would be like a jump scare or like
Right.
music, like that you need kind of audio and movement to actually like properly frighten somebody. So in comic books, what you really ought to do is just deeply unsettle a human being to their core, which I feel like is what this series does.
Absolutely.
The mother is the most unsettling human being I feel like I've ever seen portrayed in a comic book. Anytime
Agreed.
she's speaking, I am like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Run away, other character, whoever's talking to you. She lures in another man in this issue after
Which I loved. Honestly, girl
yeah,
boss
just, I thought that was great. After like setting up her cellar to be extra creepy. And she lures him in and he is such a dumbass as he's just going through and he's like, I didn't tell anybody that I was here. I've got all of my money on me.
I can't believe I met my love of my life through a personal ad.
Which honestly nicely like gave us a little bit of like situational humor to help, you know, like balance out the emotion in the issue. Because anytime we went to the kids, it was deeply terrifying.
Because I think the younger kids in previous issues had offered a little bit of that levity that really helps to like exactly. So the fact that
is their encounter too late in the book to talk about?
I don't think so. I think it's really important to talk about.
Okay.
Like that's I want to talk about it so bad.
Do you want to start then?
Yeah, so they encountered the witch last time. She's an old woman, perhaps older than we know. She makes a strange little comment about that. And what really fucks me up with this encounter, one, horrifying. Like, we learned that the house used to be, like, a brothel, and that the madam of the brothel would, like, rip fetuses out of women to make sure that they, like, could still, I don't know, do brothel activities. Yeah. So to make sure they could still brothel.
The fucking imagery behind that, and then the
horrifying. God. Horrifying.
Give Alex Cormack his credit too. Jeez, the visuals. Right?
Like, I wanted to vomit in like a complimentary way. But what I loved about the encounter with the witch was the newly revealed knowledge that like it's all about the land that they're on. Like, the weird things that are happening are because of what the mother's doing, but, like, the mother herself is not this, like, supernatural evil.
No, and, like, that's the cool thing is, like, the supernatural of the witch is, like, not actually the antagonist. Like, that's what I really want to talk about. It's like, no, the witch actually isn't the antagonist. The antagonist is their, you know, mother who isn't, you know, supernatural. So, like,
I feel like we already knew that, right? But the way that they had, like, set up the kind of fairy tale stuff, there was a lot of allusions between the mom and, like, trolls or whatever. So there's, like, this element of, like, is she kind of, like, supernatural in some way?
Like, I think that's what, like, we knew the mom was evil, but I think a lot of it was, like, we thought the supernatural would kind of play into that instead of being more of an oppositional thing. So, like, I thought that was really a rad turn in this issue.
So good. That's what got me super, super excited about this issue. And, oh my god, if you know, you know. Like, far too deep, far too big of a spoiler. Oh my god.
Well, what I will say is that, and I'm going to continue talking about, is we get a huge encounter at the end of this issue. And I don't mean like a violence, but just two characters talking. And it is maybe the most tension I've ever felt in a conversation. Like, you know, like it is so tense. It is so scary. Like, it is perfect comic book horror. I'm just like,
yeah, this book literally
Do something, run!
Right? Like you're saying, this is a book that really makes you feel that like anxious pit in your stomach the entire time that you're reading it,
Yeah.
and that's crazy. Like
What do
that's
I always say?
so hard to pull off.
The comic makes you feel things. This book makes you feel things.
And that feeling is disgusting
Yeah,
and
it's an awful
anxiety.
feeling.
Like it's so funny where like in Beneath the Trees, like you feel a sense of dread, obviously, because like literally the main character is a serial killer, but it's such a different vibe.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. Like the change in perspective is big too. Like we're kind of, at least in the first volume, you're kind of rooting for the serial killer, which like makes
exactly, yeah. Because at least she's not the worst serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. And like that, and like your focus, like that's your focused character. So it's either like, okay, you want to see that character get taken down, or you just want to see that character do their things. There's no like you being concerned for the character that you're actually like focused on.
All through Buried Long Long Ago, I'm scared for literally all three children because it also helps that there's.
I mean, I was honestly in this issue, I was most concerned about the boy. Yeah. I thought he was in big trouble in this issue.
Oh, God damn! Jesus,
because you have that moment of like the visual, and I was like, he's fucked. Like that boy is fucked.
Anyway, what an issue. Wild. Did you read it, my dear friends? Here's a little bit of an odd question. Did you immediately pick up on the very bad thing that happened? Because it's not like perfectly on panel in a way that like.
No, you gotta really look at it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. It's something that I think that you could very much read over. Like I think that I read over a little bit, and I think Jay read over it.
I definitely read over it. For sure.
Yeah. And for something that's so like big and important, you know.
Yeah. Well, did you miss it a little bit? The thing is, if you like take that out, there's still an implication that maybe that's
right. Yeah.
Anyway, there's just a confirmation that you can skip over.
Yeah. Which I guess isn't technically a confirmation.
You know, that's true. That's true, actually. That's also very true. But yeah, this was great. This series has not let up.
Nope.
I don't think any issue has been really worse than any other. They've just been.
Yeah. I think that this is a real testament to what a miniseries is good at, which is maintaining energy, maintaining tension.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this feels like it was kind of made to be a miniseries, which is really great. And I think, you know, as long as it sticks to landing, this is definitely something to look out for come January next year. We're going to be counting down.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But we've got two more books to talk about. The first is, I think, much anticipated. It's Planet Death #1.
Zeros, not on podcast.
I don't know if I actually read it.
Oh, you got. I had read the issue 0, and I really, really liked the issue 0. But we both, I think, were pretty, and I think a lot of people were very much anticipating this book. So let's go talk.
Let's go talk about it.
Planet Death, issue 1. It's a chonker.
It's a chonker. Big chunk of its ads, but it's a chonker regardless.
Ads. And previews. We have two writers on this book. Derek Kolstad, who is a screenwriter and famously the writer of John Wick, and Robert Venditti, who is one of my favorite writers, and I don't think I've gotten to mention that on the pod because I don't think we've ever Robert Venditti.
I don't think you've ever said that before.
Yeah, who's the writer who's worked on Green Lantern, Exo Manowar, and Hawkman. The artist is Tomas Giorello, who's worked on Conan, Exo Manowar, and Star Wars. The colorist is Sunny Go, and the letter is Tom Napolitano. Yeah.
I love you stumbling over that when he's the only person on this team that we've talked about on the pod multiple times.
I fully just got tongue twisted for no. Like,
it happens. It's the Italian.
Yeah.
Planet Death. You are, aren't you? Oh my god, he's brought shame. Anyway, Planet Death #1, super anticipated. I missed most of the hype. Like, not in the book, to be clear. In the like media around it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I knew people were excited about it, but I didn't actually see anyone talking about it. I was like,
my store was like one of the big Bad Idea stores. Like they were the like first New Jersey Bad Idea store. So my store's keepers were hyping the ever living hell out of it. We've had the issue 0s at the front counter like for like 2 months now.
Yeah, when I went to go visit you, the shop owner gave me one.
Yeah, they've been hyping the hell out of this book at my store. So
Yeah.
that's why for me, it's so like in my fitness, like every single week when I go to the store, it's like Planet Death.
Which is great because it was really fun.
Yeah.
It's got such good. I think it makes so much sense to look at this as something written by a screenwriter. I mean, with other people as well, obviously, a whole creative team. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think it has such like blockbustery feel to it, right? Like
Like
it
big.
feels like something that has big action, big set piece moments. Like you can like visualize. I could read the script of this and I think visualize it really well, you know. But thank God I don't have to because Giorello's art is so good. It's so expressive. It's so like it's so energetic. You know, it does feel like there are explosions going off, which is really, really great. It's a book that has so much energy to it, and I think immediately has a really strong sense of like, oh, I get what this is. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know the details, but it's like, oh,
Yeah, we
we're
really
using
for
so
first
much.
you don't get like a ton of plot because it's this
Yeah.
like big. It's a lot of big images, so it
Mhm.
moves not like pace wise slowly, but like plot wise slowly. Because
Yeah, yeah.
you're not getting as much movement on any given page.
Exactly. But you're getting all of these little crumbs, these little things that
Yeah.
start a lot of little fires in
Gotta
your
go home,
mind.
baby.
Like I think my favorite crumb
Home.
is actually go home is my the characterization of our main man, Corporal Scott. I believe that's him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I kept for a while I thought it was Ryan just because he was saying Ryan so often,
No,
but I was
here's
like,
the
no,
thing.
he's saying Ryan.
Is
So
I feel like Scott's characterization is so good with Ryan for him to bounce off of. Like
yeah, I
it's
held up
it's
the.
so
Oh, what a scene!
strong. Like that gives such a good breadcrumb for like who he is as a person. I immediately care about him so much because of the way that he's treating the people around him. The little flashback we get from him so
Yeah.
good. It creates such a good image of him. The way that everyone kind of talks and acts, even the way that they're like extracted from the pods, I feel like is all such good
I
storytelling.
love them like
Nothing
on the assembly line.
right.
It's like
Mm,
I don't know the lore well, but like it feels very Warhammer 40k inspired. I don't know if you got similar vibes, at least from the visuals. I
I
felt
mean, you know, they got Space Marines energy.
yeah,
Big guys in
exactly.
big
And that
armor.
on an
Hell yeah.
assembly line, like being built, like that's very Space Marine. I feel like coded, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And it's such a good fun time. Like Space Marines are fun. Like
Oh yeah,
you're like whether it's a Warhammer Space
visual
Marine or
treat.
I almost just said Bioshock or a Mass Effect Space Marine type.
Yeah,
It's always fun to see big guys in big old space armor.
yeah. It's very comic booky too, which is why like
Mhm.
you know works out really well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
How did you like it? How'd you like it? Did it live up to the hype?
I that I feel like that question was setting me up because I'm gonna actually say I don't think it quite lived up to the hype.
That's fair.
Which is I still thought it was a very good first issue, but I feel like the hype had me wanting something a little bit deeper than what this issue
Mhm.
was. You know, which like isn't especially it's an issue one. I don't know how long the series is. I don't know anything like that, but it's just an issue one, so I'm not like too of that. But this was I feel like this was a lot of vibes and amazing art. Like I feel like that's
Yeah.
what a lot of this issue was, which is like fine. That's great. And we have one scene that I thought was phenomenally well written, which was the scene with is it now I'm gonna forget the
With
name.
Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the
yeah.
that yeah,
Scott
that
and
scene.
Ryan.
Yeah. That scene I thought was very well written. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
That
10
was
pages in. I don't know why I'm
it is.
talking around it.
Yeah, I didn't want to say. I even I held it up, but I was like, I didn't want to say it out loud because it feels, you know. But yeah, but he, you know.
Yeah.
That was really, really well written. I felt like, and I did like the repetition of going home is a really good way to build up like the importance of that. So, I mean, it wasn't poorly written. Like it was well written. It's just it is this like big. It's almost 90s esque in like its delivery of like big pages constantly instead of like a lot of smaller stuff that can move more. And like I don't think we get like you said we get breadcrumbs. We don't really get the plot fully like in motion yet, which is fine. It's just it leads it to me to be like this was a really good fun issue and not like oh this is like one of the most hyped up books of the year.
That's so fair, yeah.
Especially when, like, there's so much going into this. I loved the John Wick movie. Robert Venditti is, like, one of my all-time favorite writers. So, like, I have so much
He had
hype.
his own
I
personal
I
hype.
have no context for Thomas Ghirelli, but from that issue 0, I knew we were going to be just in gorgeous,
good hands.
beautiful, stuff. So I really like this, and I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. Like, this is still a book that, because of how cool the world is, I'm a lore guy, and, like, I feel like this is a world that's going to have so much awesome lore. So I'm still extremely excited. But I feel like you set me up a little bit with the question about the hype, and I wanted to answer.
Well, the thing is, because I didn't experience, like, any of the hype, so I was actually really curious to see if you thought it lived up to this hype, because it is something that I keep hearing is getting...
You know, I feel like compared to the hype, it was like a solid B first issue.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It's hard to have so much hype.
Yeah.
I think that the comics industry also just generally gets really excited when, like, they're kind of guests in our space. When it's like, oh, Tom Hardy's on this book. Oh, the writer of John Wick's doing this book.
That had a lot of hype, like, well before it came, because they were doing, like, the teasers at New York Comic Con stuff. I think by the time the actual first issue of that came out, unfortunately, a lot of the hype had, like, died out.
Hype is a difficult beast. So. Yeah. Maybe if the hype had stayed up, they would put it out on time.
Oh, no.
But you, dear listener, did you get bitten by the I don't know, hype bug for Planet Death? And how did... Yeah, the death bug.
I really like your cover.
And how do you feel the issue lived up to all that hype? Do you think it's great when people come and visit our little podunk community of comic folks? Or do you want them to kind of stay in their lane? And that goes for, the creator of John.
The books that have come from these people entering our space. Because if so, we can do it in like a week.
So drop your favorite and least favorite comic book issues from, guests to the community, from other people from other media doing stuff. I think that Daenerys from Game of Thrones has done something. Obviously, Keanu Reeves
has done something. Which was, importantly, the book that got me into comic books. It wasn't the first book I read, but it was the reason I went to the comic.
That was the Drax one, right?
That was the Drax book. Yeah. There's lots of other people I feel like who've done
that bowling one recently.
The actress that plays Dreamer has done a ton for DC.
We've read some of those. But let us know your favorite and least favorite celebrity cameo comic creators down below.
The Riddler actor did a Riddler book. Sorry, that one popped into my head.
He did, yeah.
Let's.
We have one more book to talk.
We'll be talking about Snow Monkey.
It's Snow Monkey time. Snow Monkey number 3 this is coming to us from writer Jason Shaw. This is his first comic. Congrats to Jason Shaw. Artist N, who's a new artist on this book, who has done Grim Fairy Tales, Dance of the Dead. The colorist is Chuck Michael Obach, and the letter is Seda Timofonte. Jay, we've been really we enjoy Snow Monkey. Snow Monkey is a book that I think is really up your alley. Like, Jay loves just like a ninja high school.
Yeah, I do. I really like Ninja High School. This type stuff. I love ninjas in school. It's a good vibe.
Yeah, it's a good vibe.
Yeah.
That's why Snow Monkey number 3.
Why I have a signed copy. Are you jealous, Katie?
Oh my god, what a flex! What the fuck?
I have all 4 issues signed.
The 4th one hasn't come out yet.
I know. So Jason Shaw is in some way connected to this comic book store, and you could buy all 4 issues from him, and he would sign them if you wanted. So I have all 4 issues signed now.
We must briefly tangent to this. Were you just sitting on that for the whole episode, being like, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a little stinker about it.
Yeah, I wanted to flex on you, especially when I knew you didn't even have a copy. Never mind, a signed copy.
I have a Kindle copy.
The funny is, that's how I read the first 2 issues, but now I have them all because I got them all in
insane
unit.
I have a physical of the first copy, and I haven't gotten the others. They were not at my store. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, wild that you did that. Anyway, how'd you like Snow Monkey number 3?
Yeah, kind of wild to have a new artist on issue 3 of a 4-issue
series. Yeah,
mini for sure. I thought this was a fun issue. We get finally like the origin of Snow Monkey. I don't know that it was like something that I was going to be like missing if it didn't happen in the 4th issue. But it was cool to see. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I like that it was really dramatic. Like I like that the finding of the helmet was like
I love the sound, the way I held it up before, like I love the like ribbon coming through the pages. I really like that effect and that just being on. Yeah, it was really intense and really freaking cool. And then we get kind of a very like actiony isn't maybe it's not like all, but I guess it's action. It's not all fighting it, but it's a like actiony issue of her going in and doing a mission. Yeah, infiltration. Which I thought was very fun. I liked a lot of the action. I thought it was quite. It's not like this book doesn't really have like we talk sometimes about action that has like clear goals and great like it's not like that. It is very like dynamic and interesting in that. But it's not like it's not action where there's like progression of goals and like high stakes in that sense. But I feel like this issue had a lot less like characterization than the previous issues, and she's basically outside of the flashback. She is Snow Monkey for the entire issue, which is another bit of a change of pace. But I guess we're going into the final. I was about to say we're going into the ultimate issue because this is the penultimate issue.
Penultimate issue. What a giver.
So that makes some sense, but I think a little bit of what was great about the book was lost. That like again the ninja high school. That's the great thing. Like we get the ninjas from the high school, but we don't get them in the high school. But then we get what I think is a pretty cool twist at the end of this issue.
Are you talking about the first twist or the epilogue twist?
The first twist.
Okay.
Epilogue twist.
I actually really liked the epilogue twist as well.
Yeah, that was really interesting too. But I was talking about the more plot. I mean, there was plot significant in the sense that the plot actually played out in this issue compared to the plot significant for the next issue. But yes, the epilogue twist is very cool too. So I feel like those added a lot to an issue that was maybe lacking some of the character of the previous issues. But the flashback was really cool.
I think that the flashbacks were a big highlight for me. I think that they did a really good job. Like you're saying, I wouldn't like miss the origin if it wasn't there, but I think that it was a really good thing to have in like the kind of totality of the story that we're going to get of Snow Monkey. And like I really like that it was there. So I really enjoyed the flashbacks. I think the art on the flashbacks was my favorite art in the whole issue. Like I think that and was able to do a really good job with like the emoting and like the vibes of this like little child.
For like on the floor because I thought that was really good.
But I think that it is an issue where we don't get a lot of forward movement because we know that like because the main goal is for Snow Monkey to stop her father, and I feel like we're not gonna get like a wholesale tied up in a bow type of stopping of her father with the amount of
to me like a book that's probably gonna be fishing for a volume 2.
Because it seems like with the scope of what we've done in 3 issues, it would not be tenable in a 4th issue to like finish all of that off. So I'm a little bummed about that because I kind of want it to be like a complete package there.
I feel that. Especially because you never know if you actually get that volume 2. So
exactly, and I think that volume 1 maybe didn't have a good plan for just 4 issues, right? Like it feels like it's all just building up to.
I haven't seen issue 4 yet.
Well, I haven't seen issue 4 yet.
I haven't read it yet. Okay, I never read the next issue before we review the previous, but now I will feel like I can immediately read issue 4.
Yeah. So you'll find out soon. I'll find out less soon. But we'll share our thoughts with you guys as soon as we have them. Have you been reading Snow Monkey? It had such a good punch in that Red 5 Free Comic Book Day issue, and I think that
the first issue was really good.
I think it has some good world building out from it, and a lot of like good pieces. Concept. Have you been enjoying it? Are you reading it on the Kindle? Or did you also go to that exact same comic book store that Jay was at and get a bunch of signed copies? And if so, why didn't you say hi to get?
I ordered it online. I didn't go to the
even fancier. Even flexier. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, it's time for the most exciting part of
Yes.
the episode. Jay, do you have something in mind for your pull list rec?
This was actually a really tough week for me.
It's a really tough week.
Yeah.
I have mine if you want me to go first.
I know what yours is.
Yeah, look, it's hard not to. But it was
this week it's especially hard though. I mean, no, this week it's less hard. It's harder for you to pick it this week, I feel like. That makes sense. But yeah, say it.
It should have been a very easy choice, but there's so much good stuff this week that it was a harder choice. I'm going with Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees Rite of Spring #1. Despite the extra long title, I love this series so much, and I'm so hyped with where it seems to be going for a volume 2.
Yeah. Usually I'd give my tiebreaker to an issue 1, but you went with it already, so I'm gonna give, because I feel like it just can't not get a pull list recommendation this week.
It's gotta be buried long ago. Yeah.
Like, it was so good.
So good.
So freaking good this week. So you've got to check it out. Like, this is a series that I think is just so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a book that I am genuinely really excited to reread in the trade too.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited. If you're not reading the series, it is genuinely a book that I'd say, whether or not you're usually an indie reader or a mad kid, like, this is a book that you need to pick up.
And I think it's going to be one that's going to have a really good, like, it's been really good impact reading it as it's coming out. So, like, I would certainly suggest, and I'm very biased, hopping on, like, now, so that you can get that issue 4 experience.
In, like, the specifics of being a monthly book. It's really good at giving you enough every single month, leaving you with something that's going to stick in your brain for the next issue. Great. But yeah, those are our pull list recommendations. We have Beneath the Trees, Rite of Spring, and Very Long Ago. You should check both of these out. And if you thought anything else sounded interesting on this week's episode, you should check that out as well. But we have other things, Katie. Katie, what can they find? We uploaded 2 bonus episodes this week.
We absolutely did. You're all flush with bonus episodes. We had our Strange Saturday Super Show, which I don't know if it was on the Saturday, but it was certainly strange because we have returned to the Hack Slash universe. We read the start of Hack Slash's ongoing series. I think it was called Shout at the Devil.
Yes, Shout at the Devil.
Motley Crue moment.
In theory, we read Volume 3, which I think is called Friday the 31st.
Yes, very funny. Very good, Mr. Seeley. Very flat. You're a funny guy. Funny guy. He's very good volume. We had a lot of fun reading it and reviewing it. So please go check it out, because I think you'll have fun watching it.
Absolutely.
We also did our monthly breakdown of every single book in DC's Absolute Universe. So that's Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Flash, Absolute Martian Manhunter, and Absolute Green Lantern. We
nailed it.
Everything that happens in these books so that you know exactly what's happening in DC's Absolute Universe. But Jay, we have a bonus episode coming up as well.
Yes, this weekend we're going to be continuing Katie's journey, reading for the first time ever one of my favorite series, Invincible. We're going to be reading
Invincible Education.
We're going through the hardcovers, so that we get a little bit more than just the trades, and it doesn't take us 10 years to read this series. So we're going to be reading the hardcover volume 2 for this weekend. So you can check out the first episode. Katie was very pleased with the book.
So pleased.
Shocked that it was good, despite the fact that I've been telling her it is a very good series for literally years.
Here's the thing. It's not that I was shocked it was good. I was shocked it was so good.
I have been telling you for how many years? How many years have I known you?
Should have started telling me sooner. But if you want to check out our regular episode next week, we've got a whole host of books that we're going to be reading then.
We do.
Including Nightwing #128, Titans #25, very importantly, Battle Beast, Invisible Universe. #3, we're also jumping on to a new #1 from Skybound Ghost Pepper, Blood and Thunder, which we've both absolutely adored. #3 is coming for next week. Another new =1 called This Ends Tonight, which seems to have some interesting publication things going on with it. It's cool. It's a funky little fella. Then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #10, and Catacombs of Torment. We read a bunch of the Oni EC things from Free Comic Book Day,
Yeah,
and Catacombs of Torment is coming out. So we're gonna give that a look see.
yeah, that should be fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
we got a lot of stuff coming up. Going from Batman week into Nightwing week.
That's right. Be sure
Yeah.
that you hit subscribe to add us to your pull list.
And as always, we'll see you next week. Come.